Okay, so my name is Gary Wilson, and qualified as a CPA back in the mid-80s, and a tax agent, now retired. And today we are here to have a chat to Koi, who has a doctorate in data science and lecturer at Griffith University, and AI and blockchain is one of Koi's specialties. Now, the purpose of being here today is to have a chat about what this AI and blockchain world is all about, where did it start from, where is it going to, where is it now, where is it going to. And I guess if I was going to get down to the rawness of why we're here, it is because I am an investor and I have lost a lot of money in a lot of projects. And there have been people in the past 40 years of my life who've come along this journey with me. I've lost a lot of money, and they've lost a lot of money. And in this new world of decentralized finance, or what the short term is being described as DeFi, there are avenues that can be taken with lots of caution to have it as a safe journey. So the reason why I'm here is to have a chat to Koi to see if we can get some sort of common, simple language about what blockchain is and AI and how it got started. Over to you, Koi.
All right. So everyone knows what AI is about, right? So AI is just like an automatic system that you program it. You use a lot of data to train it, so to make it learn some special rules, and you do everything automatically. So it's like an automatic system, but in much more sophisticated way. So it can do like pattern recognition. You can use it to analyze the data, a lot of data in like a click a second. So that is AI. And AI has been around for about 50 years, but just getting more and more popular recently due to the technology. So we only make good use of AI if we have like very, very big system, the GPU card that has huge computational power. So recently, due to technology advancement, then the AI is getting more and more popular. So now we talk about the blockchain. The blockchain is pretty new. It's about 12, 15 years. I think just about 15 years. And not many people understand what blockchain, how it works, what is the mining process, what is the verification process, what is proof of work, proof of stake, so something like that one. So now I just spend about 5 minutes to explain everything in a very, very simple language so that a 10-year-old kid can understand. Okay, so now let's start with blockchain. So what is a blockchain? I use a very simple example to explain it. So like today, I want to trade a toy with Gary and Victor. So every time we trade toys, we will report in a diary. So I'll trade today a car with Gary for $5. So I'll put in my diary that one. Today I trade a pen with Victor for $10. So I'll write that transaction in my diary. But I want to make sure that my diary has the same as yours, because I want you to be able to verify what I'm writing as well. So Gary will write the same thing. So Koi trading with Gary today. So everything I write here, Gary will have the same copy and Victor will have the same copy. So that I don't cheat. When I cheat, Gary can check and he can find, okay, Koi didn't write the correct one. He only traded for $5, but he put in $10. So something like that one. It is very transparent. So Koi has his own record, Gary has his own record, Victor has the same own record, everything is exactly the same. So that one, each transaction is for the transaction in blockchain technology. So it works exactly the same. And now that in blockchain we have a block. So what is a block in reality? So one page of our transaction in a blockchain technology, that is called a block. So say I have 20 transactions in the first page. So in terms of the blockchain, one block contains about 1 megabyte of transaction data. So when we compare one, we can see the similarity. And now, what is the mining process and why we have the reward and why people do the mining to get the reward? So why they do that? So the mining process is, so when I finish the first page of my diary of the auto transaction, I have to move to the next page, right? But to make the game a bit more interesting, because just keep writing the next page, no one wants to do it because it takes everyone's time and sometimes not necessary. So just to make it a little bit more interesting, then when we want to start the next page, writing all the transaction, we have a simple game. Whoever get the right to write the next page first, we will have some reward. For example, okay, so now I have a competition about 3 of us. So the person who is able to check all records in the page to make sure everything is correct will have the right to go to the next page to write the transaction. So for example, I'll ask Gary, I'll ask Victor, and I will check to compare, okay, so transaction, this one is correct, the other one is correct, all of them is correct. Who done it first will have the right to start the next page of writing the record of the transaction when we trade the toy next time. So today, Gary finished first. He got the reward, which is about 25 BTC. So that is the mining process. So the mining process in the blockchain technology is the process of verifying all the transactions to make sure they are correct. But if we only do that, it's too simple, right? Because checking the record is not too complicated. So to make it a little more fun, I introduced another thing, which is a puzzle. Okay.
You said a puzzle?
A puzzle. So
Okay.
after checking a math puzzle or a math question, so after checking all the record we have in each page of the trading toys activity, I have a question about math. So what is 5 times 2 plus 3? Whoever checking first and complete that puzzle or that math question first will have the right to write on the next page. So not only checking the record, now you have to do the math as well. So whoever solved the question first will have the right, and the first person will get the reward, which is about 25 BTC, for example. So in reality, so now we're talking about the real blockchain technology. So the blockchain technology, in each block will contain a lot of transactions of people around the world. And the puzzle in this case is not like 5 times 3, it is a much more complicated puzzle. So anyone in the network, for example, me, Gary, Victor, whoever solved the puzzle first, will have the BTC reward. So that is the mining process. And because the level of difficulty of the puzzle is very high, so that's why people they invest a lot of GPU, computer, so that they have the computational power to be able to solve that question first. The first one to be able to solve the question will get the BTC, the other ones have nothing. So in the US or in China, they have a huge mining farm. They use a lot of computers, just try to beat the other guys in the US or in Russia by a split second to be able to solve the question instantly, just 1 split second before the guy there, so that they can get the reward BTC. So that's how the mining process works. So they're competing with other guys around the world. The first one to mine the block will have the right to write on transaction in the next block. So it's like writing the new page in our toy trading activity. So that's how the blockchain technology works and how the mining process works. And recently we have heard a lot about the halving. So what is halving? So now say I have $100. So each time Gary solved the question first, he has 25 cents, right? But after 2 years, this amount, like we only have about $50 left, so I can't give the next person 25 cents. I have to reduce the reward by half.
To 12.5 cents?
That's 12.5 cents. That is the halving process. So the Bitcoin halving process took place yesterday. So the reward for the guy who solved the first puzzle will be rewarded just cut by half.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more competitive. So that is the very basic concept about how the blockchain. The next thing is why it will be the revolution in this area. Okay, so now the record, the trading activity record, will be kept by me, by Victor, by Gary. I can't change myself. If I want to change, or if I want to cheat, I have to change everything in your diary. I have to change in Victor's record. I have to change myself. And if we have more people involved in the trading activities, I have to change that one in everyone's diary, right? So the more people getting involved into these trading toy games, the harder for me to cheat.
Yeah.
At the moment, we have a huge minor block in the whole blockchain network. So in order to change or to cheat any transaction, I have to be able to change everyone's computer.
Impossible.
It's impossible. So that's why every transaction is verifiable and it's very hard to change. Unless you have a huge power to do it.
Yeah.
But it seems to be getting more and more impossible at this stage because more and more people knows about blockchain. Everyone wants to mine the block. So as long as they get engaged into the mining process, they are verifying each activity. So for example, today I have 3 people playing in the blockchain network. So only those 3 people will be able to verify the transaction. And the first one will get the reward. Now, because BTC, the Bitcoin is getting more and more valuable, we have 300 million people, for example.
As holding Bitcoin.
Yes, holding Bitcoin.
Okay.
So at that time, those 300 million people have the same copy of all the transaction. So if you want to hack, you have to change the copy of all those 300 million people at the same time. And not only that block, you have to change from that block and all the blocks behind it. So that's why it's getting more and more.
So there must be, I'm plucking figures out of there here. If there are 300 million people who hold Bitcoin, that means there's arguably billions and billions of transactions.
That's correct. So that's why we have more and more network, more and more cryptocurrency. They have a better way to solve or to verify the transaction. So for example, in blockchain we have this puzzle. You solve this puzzle, you get the reward. In Cardano, in Ethereum, they have different kind of puzzle, which is somehow more interesting, easier to solve. Then more and more people get involved into the Ethereum blockchain technology because they mine the same process. So for example, me and Victor and Gary today, we are trading toy. And people in the Ethereum blockchain, they're trading something different. For example, in reality, they're trading something different and they want to engage with a game with easier puzzle because they say, okay, Bitcoin puzzle is too hard for me. I don't have any computational power to solve the problem with Bitcoin network. I move to Ethereum, which is easier. My computer is okay to solve the problem. And we have 50,000 different cryptocurrency, which according to no, we have much more than that. Yeah. So each of them, they serve different purpose in real life. Sometimes just for fun, like Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, yeah.
Yeah, something like one. Not, in my opinion, doesn't have really much value, but so that one just more about investment. So we're not talking much about how people use that one. We just talk about the core value of the blockchain technology today.
Yeah. Okay. So this really boggles my very basic brain, and that is, how do people or computers know what program to solve a puzzle? Like, is it calculus? Is it some sort of what is the puzzle?
Okay, so the puzzle is like a guessing game. The system will generate a random series of number 0, 0, 5, 3, whatever it is. Okay, just like a random number.
Yeah.
You have to guess that number correctly to match the one the system generated. So the first one who is able to match or to guess the one correctly will get the reward.
And when we talk about all cryptocurrencies, is designed like that?
Different.
Different.
Yeah. I'm talking about Bitcoin because
Yeah.
new cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
they have different way to solve problem, but I'm talking about Bitcoin, which is the very first one,
Yeah.
so that people get understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If we deep dive more into detail, then people will get lost because
Yeah.
there are millions of different ways to make the puzzle. Yeah, so basically, the system generates a random series of number. Whoever in you guys solve or match or guess that one correctly get the reward. Easy as that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's everything.
So why? Okay, this is actually diverting a little bit away from the
Yep.
core content, but I need to ask it because I think it's related.
Yep.
But if you do not want to answer, then that's okay.
Yep.
So on one hand, let's just say, for example, there's 19 million Bitcoin that is to be mined or has been mined, for example, and then we put, say, for example, XRP, and I don't know what the figure is. Maybe there's 50 billion, or I don't know.
Mm.
But so why the difference between, like, how are these numbers determined? Like, people say, like, oh, there's only 19 million. Well, why can't someone create another 10 million Bitcoin? I don't get it. Why is it locked in stone? We say for Bitcoin, and I'll just use XRP as an example because XRP is another reasonably common.
Okay.
Out there.
There are different kind of cryptocurrencies, so XRP is one of them.
Mm.
So we have Bitcoin, we have XRP, we have Cardano, we have
So XLM.
we got millions of them now.
Mm.
So what is okay? So the number of tokens in each cryptocurrency is determined based on the creator. They can determine as many as possible. So like Ethereum, there's no specific max or cap of Ethereum tokens. So they just keep creating and burning depending on the supply and the demand on the market. So somebody can have one. So there's no fixed number for Ethereum.
Okay.
For XRP, I can't remember on top of my head, but there's a certain number. And Bitcoin is 21 million tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So depending on the application of each cryptocurrency, people will like to invest into that one. Say, for example, 20 years ago, people don't know much about Google or the internet, but they have trust in that one, so they put money into the stock. It's like the same as today.
Yeah.
So XRP is considered as the main competitor of the central bank, which can be used for money transaction because their network is pretty fast. But the technology is getting more and more advanced, so we have many more cryptocurrencies which can perform the same transaction but at much faster speed.
Mm-hmm.
But the appetite of people, we can't tell what they like, they think, because they think this technology is good and they have faith in that one. So at this stage, not many cryptocurrencies have real application in reality, but people think based on their team, based on their white paper, which is their plan in the future. Okay, so they think they're happy with this cryptocurrency white paper, which is a plan. They invest money in that one, and it makes the currency just like go 100,000 times. It's like Dogecoin, in my opinion, just my very, very subjective opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see any application. So I don't invest in that one, but many people think this is a good way to invest. So different people having different appetites, so we are not discussing about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the blockchain environment potentially competing with the banking system,
Yeah.
what's your comments on that?
Okay.
And why is it a competition? If there is one, is it existing competition, or is there a transition in a competition, or is there existing competition at the moment?
It's a little bit more politics, so I'm not coming in too deep in that area, but I just say everything from my point of view.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, the blockchain is the killer of the central bank system. Because with the central bank, not many people will be able to verify their transaction or to control their activities. So like you and me, we never know how the bank's doing, how the bank's
But
doing.
it's impossible for me
That's true.
to go into your, even if I've got your account number,
Yeah.
or Victor's account number, or you have mine,
Yeah.
there is no way
That's
that you
true.
can get into my account.
That's
Now,
true.
on the other hand, if you, for example, sent me, say, any token,
Mm.
whether it's Bitcoin, XRP, whatever, from your wallet to my wallet,
Yeah.
I can go into the blockchain.com/explorer and type in your wallet, or even the transaction ID, and I can look at,
That's true.
well, that's total transparency.
Yeah.
So, once again, this is another thing that boggles me. Now, at the same time, I could never have access to your wallet,
That's true.
because even though I've got your wallet address or your
Mm.
transaction ID, which is going
Mm.
to lead me to your wallet address, I can find out the volume of transactions that have gone through your wallet, but I can never know who you are.
Yeah.
I've got no, and at the same time, I've got no access to it whatsoever, but I can see the transaction gone through your account.
Yeah.
That's
That's true. Yeah. The thing is, people who prefer the transparency
yeah.
go with blockchain, who is okay with the current like central bank system and happy with everything they're doing, go with the bank. So that's really separate areas.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
if someone like, I want to know how my money is being used, I go with blockchain.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I just put money in the bank, and every week I receive like 1% deposit. No, 1% interest or something like one. Go with the bank. So at this stage, people are really not aware of how their money is being used at the moment. They don't prefer much about the transparency. But until they get a certain damage or certain harm to their account, then they realize, okay, so this current bank system didn't work as the way we expected. The inflation is too high now. Our money, let's say, the inflation. People can't afford a house, can't afford the rental system, and what the bank does, nothing. They just keep raising the interest.
Yeah.
So is that a good way to help people? So something that one may affect the people thought about changing to more like decentralized system in the future. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that. I've been in and out, so I'm involved in this. It's being tagged like DeFi, decentralized finance, for 4 or 5 years now, and it's only in recent times that I have experienced the joy of being the beneficiary of AI in a blockchain environment.
Yeah.
And you know, if I was a real emotional person, perhaps I would have tears, but I don't. But because there's been a lot of pain in the past in working in that old system, and now it's a whole new world. And so this AI is whoever invented AI and is you know, able to create that automatic system for the benefit of mankind, then we're here, we've made it. Because today I'm a beneficiary of that. But I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that last year. I couldn't say that the year before. But now I can.
Yeah. So people change their conception after like realizing something more practical. Yeah. So maybe in the next 5 years, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency will be on the mainstream more and more, like often. Yeah. At this stage, people just hype about their value. They just want to trade for the value, get in and out to make money. They didn't see any real application. But when the technology, like the computer, the chips, getting more and more advanced, will have the blockchain a lot, then we'll see the real value of the decentralized system in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So, I think we've covered what, the intention behind this has been wonderful. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart
That's
for
easy.
this impromptu meeting with this Apple camera and videographer. And Victor is not a videographer, and we're not professional. This is totally raw, and so I just want to thank you so much.
No
for it.
worries.
And we'll look forward to see you again in maybe 3 or 4 months' time to talk about another event that is going to take place. That there's a small event that took place yesterday. Before I go, there's a small event that took place yesterday where in this new community that I am involved in, I'm able to gift Koi a $45,000 DeFi contract that Koi hasn't seen yet. But in 3 months' time, when the time has elapsed, I'm going to be asking Koi to have a talk about this, because this contract that Koi has now is operating in a decentralized finance environment, in the blockchain world, driven by AI. So we'll come back and have a revisit this in 3 months' time.
This sounds interesting, yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting, yeah. Anyway, thank you. So today is what date is it? The 22nd of April 2024, Monday, about 11 a.m. We'll close this and adjourn this particular meeting in 3 months' time.